Well. Well, got some good news for you guys. Anyone that works in the tech field, these jobs are starting to come back around. Now, before you do anything crazy, if you go back to these companies, don't sabotage the hardware. The software. Don't pull a Skynet and nothing like that, right? It's at the end of the day, it's business, and it does have a downside to it. I'll tell you at the end of the video, but I don't know your financial situation, but whatever you do, don't go back desperate, right? Whether they call you back, which they probably won't, because so many people that was doing it. On top of that, was even more people trying to get into it. Just don't be desperate, right? So be realistic with yourself, but don't be desperate. I don't want you to sell yourself short because I'm able to get my job back, and then you for some odd reason you get overly excited and you want to work for less. No. Just be realistic with yourself. Get what you can get, and then go ahead and, like I said before in the post, get as much overtime as you can. So the problem is the problem, right? It's never like them doing it because they want to do it. No, it's a problem. AI is not working. It's not functioning as these corporations thought it would. It's not there yet. So that's the problem. They thought that it was 100% ready to go, but they're running into a lot of complications as far as assisting customers, filling out forms. This whatever job that these people that was in the tech field were doing is not completely doing their jobs 100%. It's a lot of bugs. It's a lot of failures in the system. A lot of stuff is not getting done. A lot of stuff is getting messed up, and it's costing these companies even more money. Now, my personal experience with it is this whole, AI taking people's job. It has to be a limit, right? Like, okay, prime example. If I'm working at a fast food joint, I'm not worried about getting an AI program robots to run my restaurant, my fast food restaurant. I'm okay. The money's pretty much already set. Just go ahead and get some competent teenagers in there, possibly an actual adult. That depending on who you have, the kids are not all the kids are just mature yet. So just to prevent any BS to happen, I had to put an adult in there, either one or two. If it's 24 hours, have an adult in the day shift, have in the morning, have a adult overnight. So I'm not against it, but it's a limit. I'm not gonna use it just to get rid of all my employees. Now, certain things I would use it for. I watched one video. They had I don't know what company. I don't know if it was AMC, but it was some movie theater that actually had a robot to clean the restrooms. Stuff like that, but still, you still have to have somebody to oversee it, right? Like at least check behind the robot and make sure it miss any spots. So, but stuff like that, that's cool. I wouldn't 100% replace anyone. I just want to have so many people doing the restroom. I'll just have a robot do the restroom, and then have somebody, this monitor the robot, make sure everything's good. If whatever's left over, if it missed something, I have an employee, take care of that. But as far as just taking over a whole company with AI, I'm not interested in doing that. That's just me. I understand you have these people in these positions. They don't give a shit about anybody. All they want is the money. So they'll screw over their own mom, for a certain amount. So I understand that. But me, I'm not against it, but I'm not also with it. I'm in the middle, right? I'm gonna use it for what I can use it for, but as far as using it to get rid of employees so I can make more money, nah. But I guess it depends on what you're doing it right, what you're doing it right for. Like if I'm making video games, I'm a video game company, then I'm not gonna use AI to get rid of all my engineers. That way I can just use AI to make these video games. I'm not gonna do that. It's a very complex system, so I'm not gonna even bother with that. But still, whatever you got going on, that's up to you, right? If it's your business, I know a lot of stuff is not it's morally wrong, but anyway, back to the topic of the video. Don't go back desperate. Don't lowball yourself, and don't go in there either thinking that you the hot shit, right? Because it's like, okay, well, we're gonna need you back. Don't think, okay, well, you was paying me, you was paying me 200 grand. I need 300 grand. Like, don't do that. Just get what you can, and then get as much overtime as possible. I'm gonna say this: it's temporary. Understand what I said earlier. The systems are not functioning as planned. That means they're not going to get rid of them. Notice I didn't say they're going to get rid of them. They're not functioning as planned. So basically what I'm saying is they need more time to get these systems to work 100%. I guess it doesn't really 100%. Something always go wrong, right? You need somebody to monitor them. But overall, you know, the average employee that was canned, they need more time to perfect the system. So with that being said, go in there, get as much overtime as you can, keep networking. That's the thing too. I know there's a lot of people that got fired. They started networking after the fact. It's like networking doesn't work like that. If you're gonna benefit from networking, you have to do it while you're already in the system, right? Like either before or while you're in the system, especially while you're in the system. It's easier to, you know, to network when you're already in it because you know people in the industry. So it's easier for you to do that. So don't get to the point where we get fired and all of a sudden you want to start networking on Nextdoor, whatever that app is. You know, the app that everybody that go on, they get fired. They get on there, they praise. They was happy they got fired, and you know, whatever. I can't think of the app right now, but don't do that. You get back, if you get back in the system, start networking, man. Don't think about after, right? Just do it while you're in the system. Don't get too comfortable. A lot of people got comfortable. You know what I mean? They was making whatever money they was making. Just to be clear, not everybody's just clearing 6 figures, right? But you can definitely clear 6 figures. But you know, whatever. Get in there, do your job, get all the overtime you can, and start networking. Don't do it. Don't wait until they fire you, and then you want to start networking. Or if you quit, then you want to start networking. Nah, start doing it while you're in the industry, while you have the job. That's the best advice I can give you. So at some point in time, I don't know when, but they're gonna fire people again because they just need people to come back so they can fix all the problems going on, you know, with the systems that they're using. And then once they get it down to the point where, okay, now we got it, they're gonna start firing people again. That's what I'm telling you right now. That's the sad part about it, right? So, you know, I said this before, you know, the whole tech industry as a whole, you know, it's never gonna be the same. It's never gonna be the same. The best thing for you to do is to either adapt to it, you either come out with programs, or you the person who monitors the program, you know, IT, or you know, you just work where you can. You know, whoever hire you, just try to get on with them. But I'm gonna say this too, since there's not gonna be so many companies that's gonna be hiring anymore, guess what? The pay scale is not gonna be the same either, because they're gonna look at it like, okay, well, it's not that many companies that's hiring anymore, so why should I pay you this amount of money? You know, especially if you're in a city, it's like, okay, well, it's only 2 companies, and then they start talking to each other. They're like, okay, well, hey, we're gonna have a pay scale to this. So what are you gonna do? It's only 2 companies that's in your city, and probably back then you probably get 140, but now they started talking to each other like, hey, well, the most I'm gonna pay them is 85. Okay, I'll pay them 85 too. Now it's 85, so you're either gonna go with that, or you're just gonna move outside your city. That's pretty much what it is. You know what I mean? That's the only option. So just be aware of that. I'm not trying to scare anybody, but I just want to put this information out to say, hey, they're starting to hire more people, you know, in the tech industry again, only because the systems are not functioning as they planned to. It's just too early, right? It just started way too early before they started getting rid of people. So if you can get in, and if you do, start networking. Start networking, man. Just start knowing people. And I'm gonna say this too. You don't need to be always trying to get cool with the manager or nothing like that. No, get cool with your peers. Start talking with your peers, man, because those are the ones who's working. They're not so much worried about somebody, you know, that's the manager or assistant manager, whatever. Start talking to your peers. That's how you network. Don't talk to people like, you know, not necessarily it won't help, but don't be so focused on the boss, right? Like, oh, let me get buddy with the boss, and like, nah, that's okay. But you really want to network with your peers, because you only gonna have one boss, one assistant manager, one manager, whatever, right? But as far as your peers, it's dozens of you guys. So the chance of them, you know, whether they leave or they fight, whatever happens, they no longer work there. The chance of them finding another job and using you, you know, referring you to that job is highly more likely than the manager or whatever. You know, he literally had to leave to go to another company, then he recommends you. But he also has to have that same manager position. So I'm not saying don't worry about it, just don't focus on that person 100%. You know, use your peers as well, because more you, than that one person that's over everybody, at the company. So just keep that in mind. And that's all I can do is just tell you this to do your job, man, and to the best of your abilities. I watched a lot of videos about how to network in the office and stuff like that, and it's always important. They always say it's important to, be easy to work with. I know it's a lot of shit that goes on in these workplaces. You got a lot of people that's miserable, and they dog keep running away every chance they get, whatever the case may be, but they want to bring the toxicity to the job, to the workplace. I understand that, but they always said, be that guy that's easy to work with. They might not really like you. At the end of the day, you're there to make money, right? But they might not, you may not be the favorite person there, but if you're easy to work with, that your name will get around quick. You're not confrontational, you're not rude, you're not a creep, nothing like that. If you easy to work with, no matter they like you or not, your name will get around quick. And on top of that, if they end up leaving or something like that, your name will come up. I know there's a lot of people that's in the industry and is also shrinking, but that's what you need to do. You don't need to be around like, hey, I'm everybody's friend. I'm not saying that. Just be easy to work with. Because there's so much stuff that goes on already. People trying to step on somebody else's toes just to get that raise or that other position. I understand that. But, just be easy to work with. Do your job. If you got to go, a little above than average or whatever, however you want to, put that together. If you have to do a little bit more, it does help. I'm not saying you got to be a stepping stool, not saying that, but, that's that fine line you have to walk, right? He's easy to work with. He always go above and beyond. He's very helpful. That stuff like that really matters. Because at the end of the day, a normal person, they don't want to go to their job or any job and deal with any confrontation. They don't want to deal with any problematic people. But sad to say, you're dealing with people, so that's guaranteed to happen. Just because you make more money doesn't mean you're going to have less problems. You're going to have more problems. That's the honest truth. So guys, just, I know you're on LinkedIn. There we go. I know you're on LinkedIn or whatever, but you might want to go ahead and just get back on there if you weren't on there already. And they're going to start opening up these jobs. Like I say, just start talking to people. And, if you know anybody that's still working, network with them and see if they got any openings, the stuff that y'all doing already. But you're going to start to see these companies starting to reach out, to these employees and start to reach back out, reach out to you, you over here with your applications and stuff like that. So just be aware. If you get in, get all the overtime you can. Be that person that's easy to work with, that's easy to get along. That's going to help you as well. And also, once you get in, start networking. Talk to your peers, get familiar with your peers. And whoever else that has a potential of helping you find another job or whatever. Right? Just keep that in mind. I'm gonna say this too. If you decide to leave or whatever your plans is, don't tell nobody. Don't tell nobody, oh yeah, man, they fired me last year. I'm only gonna do this, I'm gonna quit. Don't do that. Don't go in with a chip on your shoulder. The only goal you need to focus on is making obviously, doing your job, but making your money. Don't go in there causing ruckus and nothing like that, and you got these terrible plans, what you want to get your get back. Don't do that. Keep that to yourself, because you gotta understand, these positions, even though they're going to open up again, they're temporary. I don't know how long, but at the end of the day, just get as much money as you can and start networking. And I tell you guys all the time, don't have all your eggs in one basket. You need to be working on something else. You know what I mean? You need to be working on something else, have something else on the side, a backup plan, or, something, right? This is how we are nowadays. That whole, I worked here for 35 years and I got my full benefits for retirement, that's over with. That's over with. I don't know if that's gonna come back, but right now it's over with. It's not happening right now. So you have to have other things going on for yourself. But anyway, guys, just wanted to get that message out there. So just, get back on your LinkedIn and, start applying for them jobs. Make sure when you apply for these jobs, make sure you call them back. Reach back out to them. Don't just put in your application and then that's it. No, you call them back and check up on it. Hey, I applied, blah, blah, blah. What's the status of it? They gonna get tired of you, but at the end of the day, they know you're trying to, they know you want to work. So don't be afraid to call them back. You have to call them back. There's so many other people that's applying for that same position you have. So don't get comfortable to, well, oh yeah, I applied and I'm gonna wait for them to come. No. You give them a couple days. After that, you gotta track them down. Like, hey, what's up there on my application, whatever. You get the interviews. You do the best you can these interviews, and then on top of that, you follow back. If whatever they say, however long they say they're gonna take for them to get back to you, whatever, hold them to that. And if it's past that date, check up on them. Say, hey, you know, you told me, you know, a week or 2 weeks or 4 days. You know, it's been 7 days. I just want to check up on the status of the interview, where I'm at, in, you know, in the hiring position. That's all. But you know, that's just what it takes. But anyway, guys, you know, if you got any information, you know, any suggestions, leave them down below. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and no matter what, always protect your peace, your pockets, and your purpose.